Okay, but let's see if this one gets us equally fired up. There's been a lot of stink around this topic. Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Kristen Bell, and Jake Gyllenhaal have all admitted they don't bathe themselves, and in some cases, they don't bathe their kids regularly. So what do you make of this?
Look, I think that these stories blew up, not just because it was a conversation about how frequently you bathe, like once every other day or whatever. It was about smell and dirt. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher and Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell were all like, we don't wash our kids until they reek. Until you can visibly see dirtiness all over them. And so part of the reason why this blew up is because there were some people who are from different communities, not white, not wealthy, who are like, if we walked out really stinky and if we walked out with dirt all over us, we don't get treated the same way. Sometimes our jobs get taken away from us. Sometimes we can't get jobs. Sometimes the teacher calls our parents because our parents are being accused of being neglectful. So there is a certain privilege to being smelly and dirty, and that was what a lot of people were coming forward and saying. Like, shower however often you want or not often, but when it comes to the point of smelling, I think that is a conversation that is different for some than others.
I do think, and I don't know the answer to this, but if it was said in the context by these celebrities of the pandemic and going back to working from home, I mean, I'll admit I'm definitely showering way less because I don't have to see y'all with your pretty faces every day or sit next to you. So I feel like I can definitely get away with that a little bit more because we're all stuck at home, and maybe that applies to kids too. So I don't know if that's the case with this story, but this story resonates with me a lot because maybe my parents would have been the ones who would have been called and said something's wrong with your daughter, because I was born and raised on a horse farm. We had one well, and it had to be shared between the family and the horses so that you could never use both at the same time. If you had to water horses or take a shower, you'd have to call down at the stable, are you guys watering horses? Because you had no water pressure. And you actually were at risk of actually reducing so much water that you ran out for a few hours. And so many times growing up, I was the kid who, after doing chores, I wasn't taking a shower. I'd be going to school, and literally kids would tease me saying, you smell like horse poop. Because I did. And now that was because we were working and we were conserving water. Water was not a luxury for me growing up. I remember moving out for the first time, I think I was 24, and I had city water pressure. I felt like I arrived in Nirvana. I was like, what is this?
You know what,
This
Mel?
is
The water
amazing.
piece of this conversation is an interesting one. We just got our water bill, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, Jason, you're taking way too long showers. I am in and out, like, I'm super fast. And I wonder if some of these celebrities who are coming from LA, where there has been a water crisis, if that is part of this conversation as well. I mean, I do have to mention that as a parent, I am guilty as charged, especially during the pandemic, of just like pushing off the bath for Jaya as long as possible. Because it's such a production. Like, he needs to have like a certain amount at a certain temperature. The bubbles have to be in it. He has long hair. Washing his hair is a pain in the butt.
It's
just, I put it off as long as possible, and I will continue to do so for as long as I can get away with it.
You're a better parent than I am, Cynthia, because we just do like I think they call it a French bath. I don't know. You just do the wipe down because P.S.
Cowgirl bath.
It's cowgirl. I don't know. There's so many names for them. You just get all the important parts, right? But I looked at that video. I never grew up having baths like that. I just never did. We could never have the luxury of filling a tub. I was like, what? The children bathe like that. And I haven't done that with Marqueza. If anything, I grab her in the shower with me. She gets the quick hose down. It's a luxury when I say, do you want a bath? Because she knows that she actually gets like more than 4 inches of water in the bathtub.
I just remember being a kid and thinking that bath time was like a special event. It wasn't like a nightly routine, like, don't forget to brush your teeth, don't forget to have a bath. It was like, okay, Sunday night, it's your bath night. It's like, oh, man. You know? Kids are so clean.
Yeah, we were all early environmentalists and we didn't know it. So there it is.